Hey, good afternoon, Capricorns. My name is Anne, and welcome to this Old Goat Tarot. If you're returning, you'll know that this is a Capricorn channel for the time being. However, I oftentimes do readings for the overall collective as well. But for today's reading, it will be for the Capricorn community. All placements, Sun, Moon, Rising. So I definitely invite you to check your astrological chart to see what your placements are. This career and finance reading will be for tomorrow, June 20th, the solstice, all the way to the following Thursday. So let's go ahead and get started. This is our last reading for career and finance for Gemini season 2025. We're wrapping up. It's been quite a journey. But before we begin, I would be remiss if we didn't talk about some of the squares that have occurred this past week. One of them being Jupiter squaring off with Saturn. I think it was on June 15th, I believe. I don't know about you, but there was going to be a squeeze. There was going to be definitely a squeeze that was, people have been looking at within the month of June. Also, I believe yesterday, Jupiter also squared Neptune. So if there was any sort of lessons maybe you have learned, because sometimes the one way to interpret Neptune is like confusion, delusion, and on the other side of Jupiter's luck, expansion, optimism can also be maybe a little bit indulgent. So maybe, I don't know if that impacted you, the Jupiter-Saturn square this week too. It was a test for us. Saturn is our ruler, but Jupiter is in the sign of Cancer too. So I think that sort of muted some of that energy a little bit. Saturn is there to test us, but he's sort of the type who, the taskmaster, if you learn the lessons, and he rewards you very well as well. So I don't know if you've had any tests. We had a flat tire this week, believe it or not. That was a little bit of a challenge, but like, how do you respond to it? Do you keep yourself, cool, calm, acknowledge it, and keep it moving, right? Acknowledge the squeeze. There's no spiritual bypassing in this world, in my world, and it could be, maybe it was more significant for you. Maybe you've heard some bad news, etc. Take it in, take it with a stride. I'm here for you, Capricorn. The community is here for you. And just, allowing yourself the grace and time needed to get over whatever it is. But it could have been macro, and it could have been micro as well. But I think this is not just impacting Capricorns, it's the overall collective. So I just want to acknowledge that as well. But we're holding space for you. But let's talk about the week ahead. All right. Tomorrow is the solstice. I did a reading on that, so definitely check a look at that. It was for the overall collective. And then I'll also be doing a reading on Cancer, because we are entering Cancer season tomorrow night as well. So lots going on in the sky. But let's get started with the Mind Info Oracle card. You got Align. Okay. So you're being asked to align to your current situation, even if it's not easy to do so. Trust that there is much to be learned by being here. Pushing against what is will only make things harder on you. Align, surrender, trust. So I think that's really relevant. Definitely rings true to some of those squares. And remember, it's not just the day that it happens. That energy can still have an impact on us, can still be present over several days. Okay, so the fact that it's asking you to align, there's an element of acceptance and trust that on this card that's really speaking to me right now. So if there is a new situation that you find yourself in, maybe not something that you would necessarily chose, but you find yourself in, the Spirit is saying right now that align and accept that there's something to be learned in this experience. Something that, taking that higher mind approach of like, what it is, what am I to witness in this season of life that I'm going through, for the better or for the worse? What is it that I can take away on the journey? Remember, it's about the journey, not about the destination. So let's go ahead and keep things moving. I do want to consult the tarot today. Today is June 19th. Again, Juneteenth here in the United States. And 2025. And so that boils down to the number 7. So I have shuffled these decks 7 times, so we might find some synchronicity. 7s are about spiritual inquiry, oftentimes, so there might be something here, a message from the divine today that might transcend a little bit the career and finance. So let's see. I am sensing that a little bit. We just had a rain shower here, and I don't know if you can feel it, but I am sensing right now just some energy. Anytime it rains, especially in the summer, the smell, that water, that energy hitting the earth, and then you can smell it. It's like it's almost like Earth, Gaia is like showing off. I just love it. It recharges me as an Earth sign. I don't know about you, but I would love to hear in the comments. But let's go ahead. I'm gonna pull my screen down just so you can see the cards as I pull them. All right. So you have the 3 of Wands in the position of recent past. In current energy, you have the 3 of Pentacles. And in future outcome, you have the Ace of Cups. And bottom of the deck, we have the Tower. Oh my goodness. So 3s are definitely prominent on my table today. So there's something to be said to that. But all of these cards here are in the upright position. This is good energy. This is really high vibrational energy I am sensing right now. Even this Tower card, okay, that this is the overall message at the table. And that could be indicative of, maybe you have gone through a tower and you're still in the process of the dust is settling, if you will, because of those squares. To me, I'm sensing some sort of change that has occurred. And that was intentional. It was by design. It was your higher self. And maybe it involved career, maybe it involved your finances in some capacity. But Capricorn, it might feel in the moment like a setback. But what I'm hearing is that there's a bigger picture at play here. Especially given all of these cards that I see on my table today. Let me know in the comments. And by the way, if anything that I'm speaking about today rings true, I would be honored for a like or subscribe. But again, take what resonates, leave the rest as always. Let's keep things going. And again, I'm just hearing right now, Spirit wants to talk about as a line. So I'm sensing here, especially given that square with Neptune around confusion, delusion, and the Jupiter energy. It's almost like it might have, and again, yesterday was the 18th, it was that square, that major square. And remember, Mercury is the ruler of Gemini, and Gemini is all about the mind. So this is definitely a conversation to be had with the ego is what I'm hearing. So there's something that may have come across like a challenge, like a squeeze, that Spirit is saying, stay aligned. Do what you need to do, Capricorn, to stay grounded. Whatever this is, it doesn't feel that it's going to be a very long tail challenge. Rather, this is something that is meant to teach us in the moment, something to just check in, almost like a test I'm hearing. So this Tower, I'm hoping, Capricorn, and I am there for you, but this does not seem like, I'm not seeing on my table right now, the 3 of Swords. This doesn't seem like a heartbreak. It feels a little bit like, I'm hearing Uranus energy almost, like a little bit of an awakening. Okay, there's something there that was an awakening. That's the higher octave of Mercury is Uranus. And Uranus is all about, it can be, it can really be read two different ways, shock and awe, or it can also be read as an awakening. So I am curious if you've had some sort of epiphany, some sort of awakening, something that you thought was, as sure as sliced bread, and all of a sudden you're starting to see things in a new light. That's what I'm sensing. That's what I'm hearing. And by the way, I don't think it's in my camera here, but I do have all of our elements represented as always at my table. It just can't necessarily see it on this view. Let me fix my screen briefly for you. Okay. Let's get things going here. Let's talk about this Three of Wands in recent past. So this energy is about waiting for something, waiting for something to come in. It's hopeful energy. It is optimism. It is something that's not new. And it's fire energy as well. Let's see what the Rider-Waite has to say. Why is the Three of Wands here in recent energy, recent past for Capricorn? Tell me why the Three of Wands is here. I'll take one or two messages. I'm hearing that you know what this is. This isn't a surprise. I usually shuffle 3 times. Spirit, I'll take one or two messages. Nothing. Okay. It seems pretty straightforward. I have the Eight of Wands in reverse on the bottom of the deck here. So Eight of Wands in reverse is something that you took your time with. Okay. In the upright position, this is fast moving energy. It's coming at you. In the reversal, this is waiting. Okay. And again, when I think about the Three of Wands, I definitely think about waiting for your ship to arrive, something that you had planted, something that you're manifesting. I am curious what that looks like for you. And just, it's a very hopeful energy. It's nothing to be concerned about. You might still be in this waiting stage. Some sort of, maybe it's something you're waiting on a promotion at work, right? It is almost mid-year. You're waiting for something. You're very hopeful. Stay in that high vibration, even if there's a squeeze, even if there's a tower. You're being tested here, but continue to wait. And keep in mind, it's funny how it works. Sometimes we have this idea of what should manifest, and we get really prescriptive, especially as Capricorns. We really want to control all the conditions of what it is that we're trying to achieve. And in reality, if we just kind of step back a moment and allow the higher mind, the higher self to do what it does best, to tap into the energy of the universe, what actually is going to come through is going to be better than we could have ever imagined. So whatever this is for you, I would love to know, Capricorn, but it feels like it involves other people. So we have the Three of Pentacles here in the position of a current energy today, which this involves other people. This is a collaborative energy. It feels as if you might be at work on a new team, perhaps, something that you didn't expect. These crystals, for whatever reason, are telling me that, it's energy that is complementary, that supports whatever it is that you had. So, the energy from the crystals almost like amplifies your own energy. So that tells me that the people that you might be working around or might want to work around really essentially are going to help. They're going to, it's almost like I'm seeing throwing a stone in water, and there's like a ripple effect. And I'm seeing 3 ripples right now. But those ripples are other people around us. There's connection there. There's some sort of synergy that is just beginning. It's very early. Okay. So I'm curious if this is related to whatever it is that you were hoping for. This could also be a contract, right? It could be something to do with a mortgage. You're buying a new home and you're just sort of waiting for the offer. You're waiting for if you put in a new job application, you're waiting to hear back, and it's still in the process. It's still you still are at a choice point. This is not complete. However, in the current energy of where you are right now, this seems like whatever job that you are in, whatever career that you're in, it's also a very positive path forward. It feels as if there was some movement, there was some shuffling around that positioned you in a very positive light involving others. So let's get some clarity on this. Just wanted to pop out right away. Anything else? Any additional messages? Why we have the Three of Pentacles? I'll take one or two more cards for the Capricorn community. Why is the Three of Pentacles here in the current energy? Anything else? Why is the Three of Pentacles here? Let's go one more time. Any additional messages of why the Three of Pentacles is in current energy? Whew. Get some flippers that wanted to come out. Anybody else? Okay. We have, well, he flew out too, but we'll get to him in a second. Everybody wants to talk. There's a Seven of Swords here at the bottom of the deck. So Seven of Swords energy, and this came in the upright position. There's some sort of strategy here. And, you know, a lot of times people see this card as being sort of a negative. However, in the context of career and finance, when it comes in the upright position, if I'm tapping into you, Capricorn, this feels very strategic. Not that you are out to get one over on anybody. You're not stepping on anybody to get ahead. I'm definitely not sensing that. But what I am sensing is that you're being very strategic with where you are. So what I mean by that is if there is ways to upskill for free, you know, if your employer is offering certifications, if your employer is offering exposure experience seminars, you're taking advantage of all of that right now. It's just an opportunity for you in this waiting game that you're at right now to just better yourself, okay, and putting yourself first. And what that's doing, that energy, other people are feeling it. You're being noticed. You're being seen with this Three of Pentacles here. Now, I did have a card that flew out on the floor. It's you, but it was in reverse. This to me is not a bad thing. So first of all, if you're new to tarot, the major arcana cards typically correspond to various signs, and the devil, okay, it relates to Capricorn, the daddy, the father of the zodiac, right? And it is in the reverse right now. And what I'm sensing from this is that Capricorns, we have a unique power here. You know, we are very committed to our career, our finance. We're very careful. We make structured decisions with the information, the knowledge that we have. I'm not sensing that a lot of us are superfluous with money or career decisions. We're constantly thinking of others. And sometimes that can become, in the upright, it can almost feel like an obsession. You know, we can oftentimes get obsessed with a process or obsessed with things having to be done in a certain, being done just so. And we're sort of, we create these chains ourselves, okay? And in the reversal, what it does is it's like we're breaking through those chains for once. We're being okay with still having that ambition, that spark of the divine, that passion to move forward, but yet we're sort of letting go. And this is the new Capricorn. I think this happened a while ago, but this is more like we're starting to look back and seeing the impact of this new identity that you know, almost like integrated into the self, looking back and seeing how much of a benefit letting go of outcomes, letting go of you know, forcing persistence, resistance kind of energy, and we're letting go, and those chains are being broken. And this is so powerful, Capricorn. Instead, we're just focusing on keeping up that high vibration, doing what we can to sort of raise our frequency by knowledge. And I think that's so powerful. And again, I'm hearing others are noticing. I do have the Knight of Cups that came out first, and it was in a reversal. Now, you know, to me in the upright, this is oftentimes about a connection, perhaps a relationship, but this, I'm not sensing this is about love. I'm not gathering that. The cup is spilled out. This is turned over. And I feel almost like this may have been a minor setback, but I don't think it was very long. It was almost like this knight went down a path, and you know, he attempted to cross this river here in front of him, and he saw these mountains in the back, in the background, and he was like, no, this does not give me joy. This does not spark joy in my life. And it was like almost like what we thought was going to give us joy was not it. And that is powerful, Capricorn. It's really important, again, being a witness to the self in this journey of life. About understanding what it is that does light us up versus what does not. And yes, there's a small grieving process for sure. You know, marching towards something that's going to fill your cup. Again, I'm not sensing this is about love. I'm sensing that this was about something that we thought was going to give us love and fulfillment. And in fact, it did not. We learned that lesson. Okay. And in place of that, I also got the 10 of Cups in the upright, and I also got this Knight. Okay, this other Knight of Pentacles. This is, again, slow-moving energy. We've found that spark. We've got the thing that lights us up and gives us the joy, the peace, the stability of the family here. That sense of fulfillment. And I think what it is we're almost seeing a different view of say our career. So perhaps you've been in a career for so long, you know, you have always wanted to, I don't know, climb a corporate ladder, and it's all about getting promoted. It's getting to that next level. If you have your own business, perhaps it is about, you know, achieving that break point of profitability or whatever that is. And, you know, maybe we achieved that. We got the promotion. Okay. We got the new job with the corner office. Okay. You know, I'm being extreme, but I hope you get the message. And you know, we crossed that river. Okay. We crossed it, but it did not light us up. And we jumped, that cup was no longer full. We realized it was no longer, but we came to this epiphany here that really lights us up is about connection with others, and through that energy is so powerful in our lives, about the community around us, our family, that we've really tapped into that energy. And what that has actually done is it's almost brought and sparked in something new that wants to come through for us. But it is slow moving energy. It's like we've set our sights on something else, something that does drive the fulfillment, okay? And the way that we've done that is sort of shifted, okay? We've shifted our mindset. We walked away from again, the insistence, persistence energy of the devil. It is in reverse. We went through an experience. We understand now that the direction that we thought was fulfilling, it was not. And again, we've come to that realization by putting ourselves first and really just being strategic with our time and energy, about learning, about being a witness, about putting ourselves in other circles. And I'm almost hearing too that there's something to do with other people that also helped. Okay, we've recognized that this Three of Pentacles energy that we're in right now is really bringing out this beautiful rainbow. It's giving us time back with our family, but also it's building a new sense of connection, a new family that's just emerging. That again, this to me is it's just what I heard at the beginning was this is just starting to emerge. This is new, and this is slow moving energy. It's almost like, you know, the people that you work with at work are typically, you may spend more time with them than your own family. Okay. And it's almost in a sense a family, but a family that brings, let's be real, most people, you know, if you're on the clock, you oftentimes, unless you're doing your true passion, which hats off to you, Capricorn, if that's you. But if not, you know, then oftentimes it can be a challenge, you know, and basically building this mini family at work, this new connection. What that's actually doing is it's building this new family, this new connection, and it's also ending in a career move where you're going to be very, very successful. That's what I'm getting, is success. By continuing to lean on these connections, building this family at work. That's ultimately, and that's giving you time back with your own family. They've got your back. There's nobody here, you know, and you know, Capricorn, if you are in a situation where you have toxic energy as well, if you are still here, where you've recognized that you've crossed some sort of path that you thought was positive, and you've come to find out it might be a little toxic. The Spirit is saying is that you need to get out of there and lean on, you know, other people around you that are your allies in a professional environment. People that are there for you, people that want to ride this horse with you, where collectively your vibration is lifting the vibration of the group. You're going to be collectively successful. Promos for everybody, or no, the sexy project for everybody. And again, if you have your own business, I do think that business is going to be really successful by leaning on those around you. And we have this Ace of Cups over here. I am not surprised. This is exactly what I'm sensing here, is that by continuing on this journey, we have this Ace of Cups energy, which is about a gift. We have the hand from the divine holding this water, this there's a connection that wants to come through in a professional setting. Maybe it's a mentor. I'm hearing mentor, or somebody who sees you, Capricorn, and oftentimes, because, you know, we typically, we're ruled by Saturn. We're the taskmaster. We're very adept at doing the job that nobody wants to do. It's almost like I'm seeing a clock and I'm seeing the gears. We just feel like another gear in the clock, right? Nobody sees us, but if we're not there, the clock won't work. That's what I'm sensing. And oftentimes it can be challenging not being seen, and I'm sensing right now that someone is seeing you, Capricorn. They want to give you love. They see your talent. They see that you have a lot to offer, and of course you do. and you're upskilling yourself as well. Let's see why is this Ace of Cups in the potential outcome? Anything else? Any additional messages? The Capricorn community. One more shuffle here. Any additional messages? Why is the Ace of Cups in the position of messages? Okay. All right. Bottom of the deck, we've got the Nine of Pentacles. Not surprised. It feels very... Nine of Pentacles, I've shared with everyone before, is about integration. You collected all the pentacles. You've done the hard work needed, and now you're sort of sitting in your garden looking back at all of this beautiful energy, all of these lessons that you've learned, and now you can sort of almost indulge in that energy, that high vibrational energy, okay? That to me is there, and again, it's like there is someone there I'm sensing that wants to help you, that's on the lookout for you, a new mentor or somebody who may have been in your past. I got the Queen of Pentacles sideways. Capricorn, this is us as well in the Minor Arcana. This is again interesting because we had the Devil and he was in reverse, and this is sideways. This Queen of Pentacles in the upright, you'll notice that, you know, she's also in her garden, okay, and she's holding on and she's just looking at that pentacle with adoration. I'm hearing luck. There's something to do with luck, but also a lot of hard work that went into this. And this is sideways, so there might be a message here. Let's keep going. I have Temperance in the sideways as well. And then I also have the Eight of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, so this is what I'm gathering. I'm not sensing this is you, okay, at all. Okay. There is something that's out of balance. Okay. What I'm sensing is that somebody sees you. Again, somebody sees you, but they see that whatever it is, there's something that you're still learning. Okay. That you haven't quite mastered in whatever it is that you're doing. But you have, it's like skill versus will. This Queen of Pentacles, she's got all the will in the world, okay? As well, she's like, I'm gonna do it, okay? No matter what, I'm gonna protect, my job. She's very loyal, very, very loyal, okay? And what it is that this person that wants to come in sees you, and you have been doing the work, like I mentioned to you before. Right now, you're in this energy of upskilling yourself, and they see that there's a level of vulnerability. And that's ironic because this card, he's like kind of sneaking away as opposed to doing it brazenly in front of somebody. But this is that's not how I'm reading this card right now. I'm reading this card as being very strategic, gathering these. I'm hearing feathers in his hat. Okay, gathering these swords, gathering these skills. The words, whatever it is, to make you more successful, okay? And you're surrounding yourself with the right people, the right energy. This family here is emerging. It's giving you love, hope. But at the same time, the universe is seeing you and wants to also, jump into the fray, okay? And notices that all of this high vibrational energy, there's something that you have yet to master, and in order to master it, right now, the fact that you don't have this one skill, okay, whatever it is, maybe it's your communication, perhaps it is your connection, or it could be more technical, okay, whatever that is, or you need something, right? You need, there's something that you don't have enough experience. You want to be an entrepreneur, you want to build something. I don't know what that is for you, Capricorn, but whatever it is it's like you're missing that last piece. But ultimately, you're already in the Nine of Pentacles energy. You're not stuck, okay? This queen is not stuck. She's comfortable in her garden. But what Spirit is saying is that they're going to help you get over the hump. Somebody is going to come in, maybe in the next week or so, maybe they already are there, and they're sort of emerging as a trusted confidant, an alliance, a mentor, someone who is there to lift you up, somebody from the divine. This connection, it's platonic, but it's something to do with your career, because you are being seen in a very positive light, and they want to help you. They want you to be and to continue to stay in this Nine of Pentacles energy. They sense that something's out of balance, and they want to uplift you. They want to get you, to allow you to sit upright in your garden as well. So that's all I have for you today, Capricorn. I hope you enjoyed this reading. With that, I wish you nothing but the best this weekend, and we'll be in touch next week. Love and light.